Hi, I'm Ed Alexander with Alexander Abramson. This is our contracts video as part of our Guide to Buying a Business video series. So when we look at buying a business, contracts are key. They're critical to the buying process. There's a couple things about contracts I want to make sure we get across in this video. The first thing is the length of a contract is not proportional to its quality, right? A contract is as long as it needs to be and no longer, so it shouldn't have superfluous, but it's got to cover all of the bases. And so we'll talk about some of what those bases are going to be. But the key is specificity, and specificity means that the contract is tailored for your deal. So if the seller has made you a promise, if the seller has represented or warranted something to you, those all end up in your contract. And without that, you cannot rely on anything. I think we talk in the book about the incidents where somebody bought a cement mixing plant that was in the materials stated a particular capacity. It ended up being less than half that capacity, and they weren't able to do anything about it because that representation did not make its way into the purchase agreement. So as you'll see in the diagram here, the purchase agreement is the center of the purchase contract universe. There are many, many different contracts associated with this. I'm just going to talk about a couple. Again, the purchase agreement should have what are called representations and warranties. These are things that the seller is telling you are currently the state of affairs or have been in the past. They also contain covenants. These are promises of the seller moving forward. So things about what the seller is going to do or not do for you. The next one that's super important is the non-compete agreement, right? We don't want to buy a business and have the seller a few weeks or months later set up a competing business down the road trying to steal back all the customers because you will have bought nothing. The non-compete agreement prevents that from happening. Then we have employment agreements, right? You're coming into this business, buying it as a going concern. It's got a set of employees in that business. We want to make sure those employees are going to stay. We want to make sure those employees aren't going to leave and become your competition. So we have in place employment agreements, typically before the closing of the transaction. Then next is the lease assignment. Right? We've got to get the landlord's approval in order for you to come in and take over that business and take over the space where that business is. So the lease assignment is crucial. We don't want to see any changes to the lease terms because that's how you based your purchase price of the business was on the cash flow that the business currently had, right? We want to make sure that in the bills of sale, we take over the intangibles that are important to the business. Is there a website? We want to get the URL, the website address, right? We want to get all the intangibles. Is there software that operates on that website? There certainly is information, right? So we want the copyrighted material that's there. And then we want the name of the business. And if there's a trademark, we want to make sure to get that trademark. So these are various different agreements that play into this. You can learn more about these in the Guide to Buying a Business book. Thanks for watching.